today. In other news, officials at the Pacific Nuclear Research Facility have denied the rumor that a case of missing plutonium was in fact stolen from their vault 2 weeks ago. A Libyan terrorist group had claimed responsibility for the alleged theft.
Hey, Einstein, where's the dot, boy? Huh?
As always, we've got merch for the channel. We have our Nerd Creative range and our Stay Creative range. Links in the description. Get whatever you want. Creatives, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. FANHOME, Build the Back to the Future DeLorean, part 37. In this video, we'll be completing issue 63 of the build. Grab yourself a coffee, sit back, relax and enjoy. So, with every build comes with component parts and a magazine. These are the component parts for issue 63. It's very heavy metal. It's the bonnet or hood, as you say in America. It's the hood of the car. Just going to put that to the side while we look at issue 63. So these are all the components that come with that. We're not actually going to be attaching it onto the car just yet. I think there's an issue or two, issue 64 and 65, before we actually do that. Step-by-step instructions of what we need to do, and this is what we should have at the end. There are other things happening in the next issue. The art of the matter. Artist Drew Strutson, who produced the poster for Back to the Future, returned to provide a more stunning art for the sequel. You know, art's just epic. The Back to the Future part 2 poster there, based on the Back to the Future poster. Elijah Wood. His film debut in Back to the Future 2 was the first step in a career that took him to stardom. Yep. Little kid there in Cafe 80s in Back to the Future Part 2, and then he was in Lord of the Rings and a little bit in The Hobbit. So this is a look ahead at what is in issue 64. So we've got the hood frame. Like I said, I think maybe when we've done this, we'll probably put the hood in, but there may be other elements to that. And then it just shows you all the components. So what I like to do is, I just like to make sure we've got everything that it says we have here. So I'm going to bring the components back and open them up. And trust me, there is some weight on that there. So let's get it out of the blister, because it's that heavy that it's pulling away from the top of the blister pack. So this is the bonnet or hood of the car. We call them bonnets in this country. In America they call them hoods. But to be honest, they're neither a bonnet or a hood. They're not a woolly bonnet from the Elizabethan times, and they're not a hood like a hoodie. They're more like a lid. But we don't go oh pop the lid. We don't. It doesn't sound right. But so that's the bonnet hood for the luggage compartment. And then it says we got hinges, which are here. Yeah, they are. You can see they open and close. So we've got one. I just use my screwdriver to get these out. We've got two hinges there, and then we've got left arm support, right arm support, which are these two kind of triangle shaped things. And then we've got arms. So we've got two of those as well. And then it says we've got AM screws, KM screws, PM screws. Let's just double check that. So we've got PM screws there. We've got KM screws and we've got AM screws. Yep. We've got everything it says that we're supposed to have. So I'm thinking that, yeah, so there's KM screws there. I was thinking that KM screws might have been new screws, but they're not. We've already had them. So we need AM screws. No, AM screws. Oh yeah, there's AM screws. And then we've got PM screws. Just checking if they might be new screws. PM screws. Yep, they're new screws. Luckily, I have another one of these. Get the PM screws. Just checking because they look very familiar. PM screws. Nope. So we return the cardboard that comes out. I'm going to glue that in place. A little bit of super glue on the back, like that. And then I'm just going to glue it in place, like that. Just get rid of these. So we've got our screws, we've got our screwdrivers, we've got our components, we've got our magazine. Let's begin. So the first thing we've got to do is clean the bonnet a little bit. Is it a little bit of a, don't know what that is. Right. So we've got to flip the bonnet over so that the curved section here is at the bottom and the flat section is at the top, because we're going to be putting hinges on here, here and here. So I'm just checking which way round they go. Looks like they go that way, like that. That's what I'm thinking. Or do they go that way? It's quite hard to tell from the photograph. So if I put them that way, yeah. I think maybe they go that way. Yeah, I need to have a look at this. According to this, so that this bit that moves is the bit that goes on here. I'm not convinced, but just to get the So we need 4 km screws. If it's wrong, I'll change it. It just doesn't look. I just don't know which way around it's supposed to be going. So let's get the screwdriver. So yeah, it's saying it goes this way around. Just checking. Yeah, because this bit here, this barrel thing in the middle, is supposed to be at the bottom. So I'm going to do that. Let me just move all these out of the way so I can see under the light. So it sits on there, although I can't see. Oh dear. We do have these issues. There, that's in. So I'm gonna have to pull this one out until it straightens. That's in place. Do the same thing on this side. So that's the hinge there. It's probably right. So if the bonnet's like that, and then it lifts up, yeah, it's probably right. Get this like that. So it's like a Z shape. You make it like a Z shape like that there, and then it goes that way around there. So we're putting the screws in these two holes here, like that, down like that. Although I don't want to block my light. Let's see. Let's get the other one in before we tighten up. You hear it click. That's it going in the hole. Let's just spin that. Is that tight? So that's our hinges there. So if you can see, and that one. I'm going to put the arm supports in here. These two pieces, the triangle pieces there, and they go in with AM screws. So we need a couple of those. and the position. So there's a big hole there and a small hole there. The screw goes in the small hole, and there's a location lug as well. So there are different, so you know which is left and right. So I'm going to put the location lug in. Just going to tip it up to the light because I can't see. Like that. Like that. There. Let me zoom in a bit more. That's maximum zoom there. So I'm just going to line it up. And then turn it around and do the one on this side. Just line up the big hole there and the small hole there for the screw. Just line up the location lug like that. You hear it click and crunch, you know you've put it in the right place. There you go. That's the arm supports in place. So we've got the hood arms to put in place left and right. So in the picture this is yellow, and as you can see they both look the same, but one's a different colour. So the difference is, as you can see there's like an indent there, and on the other side there isn't. So where the silver end goes in here like that, and the black end goes at the bottom, and these actually turn. See it there, it turns, so you can turn it so it's lined up, so they're both facing the same way. So we need 2 PM screws, one for each arm. So I'm just going to line it up so it's silver end in. I'm just going to have it up like that. That's one there. Spin it around and put the other one in. And again, silver in first, silver end. Can't see. That's our arms there. And that's what we should have at the end, as you can see. So that completes issue 63 of the build. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?